Hi, my name is Reggie Rodriguez, and I am just completed my first year at Southern and doing it all, of course, online as I live out in Southern California. I'm born and raised in the greater Los Angeles area. I specifically live in a town called Burbank, which is pretty close to LA, and have pretty much lived all my life in this area. I'm greatly enjoying and richly blessed by the knowledge that I've been exposed to in the classes that I've been taking. It is what a blessing, and really trying to focus on having it drive me to worship because I feel that that's the main point of learning more about God. And my goal has been, since I felt called to seminary, has been to be better equipped, to have a deeper well of resources from which to teach others about God and teach them, equip them to read the Bible better for themselves. Let's see. I'm married. We have a blended family, so we have a total of 7 kids. They range in age from 23 to 35. I have 4 grandchildren, and grandchildren are such a blessing. The kids, they live, all with the exception of 2 of them, live pretty close to us. The oldest daughter lives in Bend, Oregon, so it's not too far, about 8 hours away. Actually, more like 12 hours away. And then we have a son that lives up in the Sacramento area. Um, my wife and I have been married for about 8 years. Um, we are active in our church. It's called Bethany Baptist Church in Bellflower. What a blessing. We've only been there since the beginning of this year, but it's been a tremendous blessing to be part of that body there. We have just assimilated ourselves into the body and the ministry of the church. I was recently able to preach for the first time in the Sunday evening service this past week, and preached on Ephesians 2 1 through 10. That coincided with a preaching class that I was finishing up, and that was part of a recorded sermon I had to do. So it was a little nervous time, but spent a lot of time preparing, and really am looking forward to just being able to. I felt like exegetically I was pretty prepared to put in the work, but as far as like the homiletical, the kind of like the propositions and the applications, I struggled a little bit with that. Um, I'm involved in a men's jail ministry in the northern LA County area. It's one of the largest jails in LA County, and I try to get to that. It's a weekly assignment, and I get to preach in there to the inmates. And right now it's a smaller group because of COVID, but at times there's a whole chapel full of them. So I feel that's a calling in my life. I feel greatly called to minister to men that have had broken lives, and whether that's through substance abuse or gangs or other situations. I truly have a love for those men and want to share the gospel with them and see them come to know Christ. My wife and I serve in a transitional home for women about twice a month near the downtown LA area, and that's called House of Blessing, and it's a home for women that are recovering from either substance abuse or they're in there for domestic violence reasons, but it's a kind of a transitional home for them to kind of get back on their feet. So definitely have a heart for inner city, urban context, and hope to fulfill that calling on my life in some way when I complete Southern Lord willing. And I don't know exactly what that will look like. Possibly joining someone as an associate pastor in a dying church in an urban context. So those are, but definitely open to see what God does with this leading and also with the training. So been greatly blessed in this class. Really been looking forward to systematic theology. The book by Bavinck has been a great blessing, and I really have appreciated where it tells us to read it slowly, as there's so much to absorb. Love to learn about God and better understand Him. And again, as I kind of picked up in the book, even today while I read it during my lunch break, really have it affect the will and be richly blessed by that.